I've got Nike's Zoom Fly 6. Why is this worth talking about? 2 reasons. My favorite Nike shoe, the Invincible 3, is criticized for being too squishy. Something that this kind of addresses. But also the 2 other flagship shoes, the Vaporfly 3 and the Alphafly 3, are expensive. The Alphafly 3 is so expensive, I don't have it. There needs to be a shoe that bridges the gap. Daily trainer, but not too squishy that it gives you some return of energy, but within a price range that's not quite super shoe, but also designed for runners that are not kicking out Alphafly speed, that you can actually use that same daily trainer on race day. That's this. My name is Aubrey, I'm a runner and I'm good with being me. At the 17,200 subscribers, it feels great saying that. Thank you very much. Let's start with the review. Now I've pivoted my reviews to give you every step of a running experience in a shoe, from unboxing it, first run, and then the longer term use. So let's do the same here. I unbox the shoes, check them out, and I put them on. I want to start with the first 2 challenges that I've had with the shoe before I give you my usual kind of review. The first one was the lockdown. I had a significant amount of heel slips in this shoe. I actually left the house and went back. You're gonna see me relacing these to make sure that I applied the runner's knot that you're gonna see over here. The same thing, the same problem I experienced with the Nike Invincible 3. Now, a lot of people will cite the issues they had with the Invincible 3 with that heel slip. But as soon as you get that runner's knot on there, that problem goes away. And it's the same with that. I just want to call that out. Secondly, I wear a 9.5 UK. All of my Nike shoes are 9.5 UK. This one seems to run a bit long. An issue I've never had in any Nike shoe, and to be honest, I wish I had gone a half size down because it really needs me lacing these down to give me that good lockdown. Those are the only 2 issues I have observed for my first run. With that said, let's do the review how I normally do it. The 3 things that you need to know. Let's start with the price. It's listed on the Nike website at £154, but for some reason I got it for $134. I don't know how. And in terms of the weight, 270 grams. And for context, the Invincible 3 I referred to before is 318. So within that daily trainer, super trainer kind of weight range, that's quite respected at 270 grams. To a point where runners like me can definitely consider this as a race day shoe. In terms of the stack height, you got 42 millimeters of stack at the back, 34 at the front, being 8 mil drop. Okay, let's start with the review the way I normally do it. Start from the top, work our way down, just using normal English. Right, let's start with the heel. Excellent heel. It provides you very good structure at the heel. You can't press that. That's super resilient. Good structure in the collar. In terms of the shape of that, it's not quite a heel tab, but it's quite raised. And I like the hold that that gives you. But I did talk about that heel slip, that it does need that runner's knot. That's my experience. Let's talk about the tongue. It's a gusseted tongue. It's attached. It's a higher up attachment on the inside, low down on the outside. It's attached nonetheless, and I like that. It gives you a very good hold and the tongue stays in place. A bigger highlight though, in terms of the tongue, running the length of the tongue from the top all the way up is a somewhat padded texture. That's excellent. I talked about having to really get this lockdown done, and sometimes that requires a tight fit. When you've got that padding on the tongue, that pinch, the lace bite is removed because that gives you the cushioning to really get those laces down. So well done for that. That padding is also available at the very top here where you're then tying those laces. I like that. In terms of the lacing, I don't know why they went with these ones. So let me show you the laces on the Invincible 3. They've got quite a wide profile. And then these laces here are super thin and they're super tiny. I don't really mind them, to be honest. I'm not really gonna be fussy about it, but I would have loved a flatter profile of a lace that removes that pressure I just talked about. But it's also much nicer to feel, much nicer to tie. But I'm not really gonna write a song about it. It's got normal eyelets, and that's what I love to see. It's quite standard, similar to the Invincible 3, which I love so much in terms of the lacing system. My only complaint are the type of laces that they've used, and that's all. Let's talk about the upper. Interestingly, it's actually 2 layers of this upper. Now, I don't know if I can do it justice, but inside this upper is a more of a thicker material. And on the outside of it, just here, you can actually slide your fingers. Your finger can actually slide between 2 materials. So you've got this engineered mesh and another layer underneath that. Now, that sort of brings into question, if you're in a hot area, will that run warm? Is it breathable? Because some shoes are made with literally just this material that you're seeing here. And you'll be able to see my finger through that. I didn't have those issues, but it should be noted, I'm in England and the temperatures are slightly cooler. And in terms of the look, I really do like it because it steals the look of that Alphafly 3. The midsole gives you Alphafly 3 vibes. And this is why I'm saying that this is not only a tempo shoe, but for runners like me, this is a serious contender for race day. And if you look at the midsole at the back, just the look of it, it does have Alphafly 3 vibes. Not necessarily on the upper, but the upper is that look that I really like the look. I honestly like the aesthetic. I always love these exaggerated logos, and Nike has nailed it with this one. I must say though, I do prefer the white colorway. Okay, let's talk about this midsole. You see ZoomX over there. ZoomX is Nike's premium foam. You're gonna find it in the Alphafly 3, the Vaporfly 3, the Invincible 3. You're gonna see that. It's one of the best foams out in the running world. But there is also another layer, which is SRO2. Now, I don't care. They could call it GTX 2000X minus. It doesn't matter. All you need to know is the ZoomX is on top of this SRO2 foam. The SRO2 foam, usually in running shoes where you've got dual layers, the more resilient, stable material will be at the bottom, with the more comfortable cushion one being nearer to your foot. And that's what Nike has done here. What's the running experience like? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. It works perfectly. It feels perfect at the heel. I don't get the same feeling at the forefoot. It's a bit firmer at the forefoot, which is a plus if you criticize the Invincible 3 for being too squishy. For me, I would like that plush feeling all the way through, because I feel like the carbon plate that's in here then adds to it. But it's a slightly firmer feel at the forefoot. If that's your kind of thing, you're gonna enjoy that. Anyway, sandwiched between these 2 foams I talked to you about is this, the Fly plate. This is a full-length carbon plate that they've put in here, and I like that. The reason why I think this shoe has a place within the Nike rotation is exactly what I explained, that at the far extreme of cushy is the Invincible 3. You then have the Vaporfly, Alphafly. This, to me, is exactly what you need in between, a carbon-plated daily trainer that is not as aggressive as those. Definitely not as aggressive on price as those. This is why this shoe then works very well. Let's move on to the outsole. In terms of the outsole, you're gonna see, you're gonna see Nike staying with that waffle kind of shape. While I like the Invincible 3 is the coverage, this does have a bit more of that exposed foam, but I'll be honest with you, it's not gonna impact any wear and tear looking at where it is, the amount of foam that you have here. But I will report back. I aim to come back to you after about 3-4 runs when I hit that 40, 50K mark to give you a bit more of a longer term review. With the terrain that I run in, it felt great. And I did vary it to make sure that I tested it really well, but it felt great. So who is this shoe for and should you buy it? For me personally, this is that sweet spot. If you don't want to push to the Alphafly 3, Vaporfly 3 kind of prices, this will work for a race day. But also, it's a very good tempo shoe, and I think that's where it's going to fall into my rotation, with the Invincible 3 already having that easy, long run kind of spot within that rotation. I will be back with another review on this shoe. Thank you very much for checking this out. Just one more thing to do.